Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. What you are seeing on the screen right now is a speed build of me doing a basic shell of a hotel, and I decided to work in the Ciudad Enamorada world in the lot called Torres Amanecer. Did I say that right? I don't know. Anyway, I've done hotels in the past, and that is from a hotels mod, which I will put on the screen now. And with this mod, you can literally make a fully functional hotel. Like, it comes with concierge, I think that's what it's called. It comes with like room service. You can have like an on-site like breakfast area, a bar. You can have activities for all the guests to do. You have checking and checking out. Like, it is a proper functional hotel. The mod creator is Lot 51, which is one of my favorite modders for The Sims 4. Incredibly talented, by the way. So I definitely recommend getting that mod, although that's not what this video is. For this video, well, it is going to be compatible with the Lot 51 mod, but primarily I know most of you guys are deep rooted in mod phobia. You don't want to download mods, or you're a console player. So we're actually going to be making this one friendly with The Sims for home businesses with only 2 hobbies expansion pack. It definitely doesn't work in the exact same way as the mod does. The mod is significantly better. So if you can put your mod phobia aside, like 100%, guys, like, please get the mod. In fact, I will link in the description of this video me playing the mod, and I haven't actually played with the mod for over a year now, and it's definitely had some cool updates since then. So let me know if you want me to give it a go again, and I will. Anyway, obviously, as a home business, we have the upstairs here, which is actually like the family space, and then we just have 3 apartments here, 3, what do you call them, 3 rooms, which is not much. Okay, but this is The Sims 4. Okay, this game is so shit, it doesn't even have color wheels. Like, it's literally held together by a piece of thread, so I doubt the game would be able to handle more than 3, so that's why I've just done 3. I was considering also, by the way, making this upstairs space like a functional shared community space with a pool and everything, but I decided not to, just because I wanted to focus on making it feel like a more luxury hotel experience. Of course, we don't have restaurants in The Sims 4, so we're just gonna have to do mini fridges, which is gonna be a problem, but whatever. I mean, I guess something that you can do is use the 4 rent pack to make it 3 residential rentals, make them 3 mini apartments as well, although that pack is quite buggy, unfortunately, so I don't know if I personally would trust it. So I'm thinking we have a feature wall, and then wait, do we make the other walls black, or is that a bit dramatic? I just realized how badly lit this all is. Oh well, unless we have like a bright feature wall. I'm thinking we should actually make maybe each one have a slightly different vibe. Luckily, the Love Struck pack does actually come with the standard wall to go with the feature wall, so it doesn't look as weird. Not that I can even see what's going on without any lights in this. Okay, we're gonna have to do lights first. This wasn't very well organized, was it? We do standard looking hotel lights in every single room. Okay, that's cute. Okay, ignoring the flooring, I think we actually use a wooden flooring. I feel like this is good to work with. I'm actually going to try and use base game and Love Struck only and just see how we get along. I feel like in a hotel room, like, you'd need a carpet. I don't think I've ever been to a hotel room genuinely that hasn't had like a disgusting ugly blue carpet. That's every single hotel I've been to without fail. There we go. We'll make 3 different rooms. So we've got like a pinky, more feminine space. We've got a more like dark, sultry space here. And then here we've got somewhere that's a little bit more light and fluffy. Bathrooms will be the easiest thing to do, and that's because we can literally copy and paste them all across. Didn't the Love Struck pack come with like an inbuilt shower thing? Although I don't know if I can be asked to really do this because it is a lot of faff. If I do it, it's gonna like, yeah, it's gonna take up like the whole room. I kind of wish they just did like a walk-in shower object instead of having to build your own, but whatever. Although the great thing about this being a hotel lot is that we don't have to spend too much time over cluttering it, because it's obviously not going to be furnished with personal objects, clutter objects, because it's a communal, like, it's a community space. So it means that we can actually finish this one off really, really quickly without having to do too much decorating. I feel like minimal hotel spaces always work a lot better too. Like, what would you have in a hotel bathroom? Like, would you just have a shower, a toilet, and a sink? Like, I can't even think of anything else. To be fair, you probably would have towels, plain white towels on a rack in case you need them, maybe put over here, and Not a medicine box. It's very hard. Also, I feel like in hotels, everything inherently does look quite clinical, which I think is interesting. I think it's going to look great as long as we make sure there's enough space to have all of the different towels. Would it be dramatic to have a big painting like this in the middle of the bathroom? I feel like this is like a honeymoon hotel anyway, so we're doing it. Anyway, all we can do now, I'll get rid of the doors on the other ones. So all we have to do is literally just copy the room and paste it over. And then we've basically done it, which is incredibly good. The only problem is this window here is looking pretty ugly. So I feel like this final bathroom maybe just needs a shift around. So it does look a little bit different to the other one. Is that functional? The space feels really tight. Not that I know what it feels like to be tight. Welcome to being gay in your 30s. Anyway, that's the bathroom. Oh no. I didn't even think. What an idiot. Okay, every single like hotel bathroom needs to have a floor thingy. I'm so bad with words. What do I mean a floor thingy? Like a towel, like a... What are they called? Is it a bath towel? A floor towel? I don't know. So boring crap out the way. Firstly, let's do the more, I guess, girly-ish kind of space. I quite like, you know, the idea of using the love struck stuff is in like the heart bed. Actually, something I thought, we're basically copying the same layout in all of them. Although, I'm going to have to make some of them differently. Like I'm going to put the floral pattern on this wall as a feature wall because that one has the windows and it looks a bit more weird. Yeah, we are definitely going to have to make them all different, if you know what I mean, just a little bit. I actually really like the nightstands that come with Love Struck because they fit really close to the bed. These hotel rooms honestly feel a lot bigger than your average hotel room. I think you'd be very lucky to sleep in here, honestly. I kind of like the idea of making this middle room feel just like a lot more outrageous in design. I also like the idea of using this exact painting in all of them. It's just really cute. I think it adds to the vibe, reinforcing that this is a sexy hotel and we all come here for woohooing and woohooing only. Although we won't be doing that in today's video because the last time I did that, EA banned my account. You guys have asked me, like, Sat, why did EA ban your account? You guys think I'm lying. I'm genuinely not lying. They banned my account for like just a week, to be fair. It was just a week. And it was because I made a video where I made a woohoo hotel with, well, I kind of made a brothel with Wicked Whims. To be fair, okay, YouTubers have done that so much. Like, it has been done to death. So why was I targeted with a ban? I don't know. It was just weird. Like, it's never really happened before where EA's just done a targeted ban on a content creator before. So to this day, I don't know why they did it really. It was just so strange, but that's what they decided to do. Now, something that I'm going to do is go onto the gallery and under rooms, we're going to look up flirty paintings. So, you know, in The Sims 4, you can make like emotional paintings depending on your Sim's current mood. Well, we are going to be using these flirty paintings in our build. And the reason why is because when you use these paintings in a build, did you know that they actually give your Sims the emotion that they're portraying? So you can, you know, like you can enable or disable emotional aura of certain paintings. That's what these basically do. So I just feel like it would be a really cool idea to have these in there because that way you get the emotional effect, the aura. Just as a little life hack for you guys there, you're welcome. Though you will have to add the frame in live mode. We also do need to have a wardrobe in each room, which I actually didn't think about. Not that, okay, do any of you guys actually use hotel wardrobes? Like, whenever I stay in a hotel, I do not ever use a wardrobe. I'm just living out my suitcase. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Oh, I don't know what to... Okay, I'm thinking we're actually going to have to move the beds along a little bit so that we can actually fit in the wardrobe. I mean, to be fair, we've got so much room, so it's a non-issue. I think that's fine. Though every room will have to be slightly different now. I've added the closets to all three of them in case they have any gay guests. That was a joke. Please don't cancel me again. So we've got a bathroom. We've got, okay, we need a mini fridge, definitely, for each room. Every single hotel, apart from obviously having a bed and having a bathroom, every hotel needs a mini fridge and it needs a blowjob chair. This is true. And is this not just the perfect BJ chair? I think so. Oh, and I guess we also need like a desk or a vanity table or something in each room, don't we? I kind of like the idea of even using this end table in here. Like, I want to make it very clear what you're doing in this hotel room if you choose to book with this hotel. I feel like these two edge rooms though are basically the same. It's just like they're different kinds of pink. You know, like how people... Okay, will it get me cancelled if I keep talking about penises? I think it will. Anyway, we've got 2 shades of pink. You get from that what you will. So I guess we don't have to be strictly like base game only. I am going to use the Modern Luxe kit, I think. Do I want the Modern Luxe kit or do I want Vintage Glamour for Vanity? I think, yeah, I'm going to use Vintage Glamour. I think that works best in a room like this, although the swatches aren't great. Actually, the Modern Luxe kit ones, the swatches are much better for a space like this, though even that doesn't work very well. Oh dear. Maybe we don't have a vanity table. Not like the Sims even need them anyway. Anyway, I'll make sure that we've got a mini fridge in every single room. I do also want to add objects like for Love Struck in order to make it feel fun. So I'm thinking we give every single room its own private bar in addition to the mini fridge. So maybe we could do like, I don't know how to do it in terms of the layout. We want to make them right next to each other like this. Would that fit in well? So I think that looks cute to have the mini bars in each room. And then I also think we need to have the dress up closet thing, the dress up trunk in every single room as well. This one feels like an obvious given. Do we want anything but outside? Could we have a like a blanket outside? I'm just thinking of like utilizing Love Struck features. Not that the features are really that great with this pack, but maybe we could have them. I'll try and make them fit the theme of each room. I think that's really cute. I also just remembered you can get like a canopy thing for your bed in Love Struck, but there we go. They have fixed it because before these objects didn't actually appear in game. They kind of glitch. So they finally fixed that. Will that clip through the wall? It doesn't clip through the wall. So could we have it like, is that a vibe? I think that's a vibe, you know? So yeah, you can have it like clip into the wall. I'm hoping it's still technically functional, even though it's clipping in the wall. I'm trying to think of just like other functional things. We definitely do need table and chairs for outside because Sims won't autonomously always go to sit and eat on the bed. Sometimes they're a little bit dumb and they'll sit and eat like on the other half of the building. Or like knowing Sims, is there like, there we go. Can you see down here there's like a bench? Like knowing Sims, if they took something out in the mini fridge, they walk all the way down there just to eat it down there. So if we give them somewhere like painfully obvious to eat, hopefully they will. I can't make any promises though. This is The Sims 4 after all. In terms of windows, do we want to fully cover like these windows here? Seeing this is basically like a sex dungeon, let's be honest. Is that a vibe if we do that? I feel like it's kind of necessary. I'm also thinking now we actually do some better lighting, and I'm going to be brave and get rid of the ceiling lights just so we can attempt to do something a little bit more sultry with the space. I will put some candles on the tables, and I'm going to do that in every single room because I think that makes it look really, really cool that way. Actually, the game comes with these like ceiling lights. Can you see with the stars on them? If I go into this view, you can see it on the ceiling. So maybe I should actually put these over the bed of all of them so the bed feels a little bit more magical. Let me go into let me just hit tab. Is that cute? Is that a vibe? If you're asleep and you see those above you, I'm not sure. Well, I like them, so I'm leaving them in there. It's still really dark though. Like we could use from the base game. Well, technically it's not a base game object. Technically you need to have The Sims 3 in order for this to work. Well, technically you need to have owned The Sims 3 Late Night. You actually get this Plum Bob award for owning that Sims 3 pack. There's actually, you can see in my build menu, there's multiple depending on which Sims 3 packs you own. So if I put the red one, the romance one in every room, then I put it on like the fridge or the bar, that adds a romantic aura to the room. Then I'm going to add a really subtle light above each door just so Sims can find the doors. Then honestly, the base game lights, see, they're usually pretty good because the lights are so bad and they don't actually emit any lights. It kind of makes it feel more moody. And then I also kind of don't want one. You could add one of these, like the cocktail ones. Is that really dramatic? Because this, look, see, this adds such like, okay, it's technically inspiring decor. I wouldn't call it inspiring, but okay, no guys, look at this as just like a light. Okay, this is a funky hotel. Like the whole point is it's supposed to be not cursed, just like a little bit wacky. Like this is the ultimate shag pad right here. That's essentially what you're doing. So I'm really, really happy actually with the way that that looks. There's some basic decor. I am adding some plants around the edge of the balcony. It's a small, I think, but noticeable touch. Maybe some plants above the windows, plant on the table, because we can't clutter this in a way that feels personalized, if you know what I mean. It has to be cluttered in a more objective way, which does make it quite difficult. But But I mean, considering this is basically a love hotel anyway, like you're not going to be staying here very long. So I think it's fine. Because the whole point, okay, with the Love Struck pack is going on dates. If you're going on a date with a sim, all right, and you want to woohoo at the end of the night, you just take your sim here. You check in, you pick a room, you can woohoo in the shower, in the bed. You've got the little, whatever this is, the trunk. You've got this that you can woohoo on. And do you know what I'm even going to add to the build before I forget? As another woohoo object, as a shag pad, if I can find it anyway, it is the closet. Okay, apparently the woohoo closet is a misc decoration of all things. So I will add it into this like private room over here. This feels very filthy to have it in a room like this in a utility closet. I'll also use a fake water box here, water heater. Should we use a real water heater to make it more challenging if you own the lot in case it breaks or something? I feel like that's a fun gameplay idea. Misc touches that I like to do for no reason. I like to add a fake vent in all of the bathrooms which don't have windows. So it's like technically the like pooey air is kind of coming out, even though it doesn't actually work like that. I like to pretend it does. I kind of want to fit an air conditioner. I could put it above the door of each room just for a touch of added realism. And in addition to these rooms that we've designed here, we do also have the main build. And this is going to be more of a normal house because this is actually for whoever owns the building. They're the ones who's living here after all. So this will be, I think, more fun for me to do personally because I get to make it feel a little bit more homely as opposed to the other ones which are just like basic bitch shag pads. Because I know you're crying at me for lighting, I'm gonna add like these crappy lights, and then once we've decorated we add normal lighting in after. So I'm actually thinking of making this a living room kitchen, like a 2-in-1, because it is an apartment technically, so I want it to have that apartment feel to it. I don't want it to feel luxurious, but I don't also want it to feel cheap, because whoever's living here literally owns a hotel, or they own 3 hotel rooms in an apartment building. It's basically a glorified Airbnb, but whatever. I'm still not convinced, like, why haven't they given us an apartments pack yet? Like, what? So I mean a hotels, because they did it with full rent. They gave us apartments. I don't know why they couldn't have implemented a similar system, although again, that system's kind of broken, isn't it? Really, like, for rent, I'm sorry, it just doesn't really work. It's even more buggy actually than the Sims for Die Now or the Sims for My Wedding Nightmares, because at least with those packs, like, they don't break the game, but For Rent literally has broken the game, which is why it's actually a lot worse, to be honest. So I'm just trying to think of ways that we can balance this space indoors because it's quite big. Maybe we could have like an oldish computer space at the back here just to fill it out a bit more. I like the idea of doing stuff like this because it perhaps makes a house feel a bit more lived in, honestly. Obviously, I was just thinking, like, we don't have a check-in desk, and there's an obvious reason for that, which is that Sims literally wouldn't check in because it's the Sims 4. If we use the Lot 51 Hotel mod, we definitely would have been able to do a check-in desk, but in the name of mod phobia, we won't be doing that today. Do we want a family dining table even though we've got these? Not sure for now. We'll leave it for now. Also change the flooring so that the special tile bit is only going around the trim of here, just to make it look a bit more interesting and in-depth. So, I think we should redo everything and make it feel a bit brighter. I think that's a lot nicer if it looks brighter. And I don't think it's necessary. Like, I don't really want it, but to fill out the space, I think we kind of need to have a dining table in here, right? There we go. It just helps to fill out the space a bit more. Chuck a rug under it to make it feel more natural. Clutter the table a bit. There we go. That's cute. Now it's time to try and find some curtains that actually fit, which is going to be mission impossible in The Sims 4. I feel like the least satisfying part about The Sims 4 build mode is curtains. I feel like when's the last time you actually used curtains in this game and thought, you know what, they're a perfect match and they fit here really well? Like, when's the last time you had that experience? I don't know why curtains are just so like horrible in this game. And because this is a regular residential lot, we can obviously clutter it. So I've actually used the everyday clutter kit and the more recent kitchen clutter kit just to add a little bit of clutter around the build. So this one is obviously going to be a 3-bedroom house. We could do do 2 bedrooms technically, and then also do some kind of like family room. I don't know, like a private study or office. I just want to say, like, I actually do really like this Love Struck like wallpaper. Isn't it really cute? It kind of reminds me of The Sims 2. That's why I really want to use it in this room, honestly. It is hard keeping it within the restrictions of The Sims 4 Love Struck plus base game only, with a couple of random exceptions. Like, I want a nice mirror that we can have next to the closet, but we don't really have one with just these packs alone. Maybe, do you know what? You know, fuck you guys and your limited packs. Today I'm being selfish and I'm just gonna use what I want, such as this really cool thing here. I'm sorry. Honestly, the reason why I typically just limit myself to a couple of packs is because if I don't, it genuinely becomes so overwhelming trying to find all of the objects that I want to use, because there are just way too many in the game at this stage. So if I actually limit the amount of packs that I use, it means that I don't have to do all this like endless scrolling to find things, because I'm limited. So it's just like, okay, this is all I've got to work with and I've just got to do something with this. Do you know what I mean? Whereas when I have all the packs, it's just too much, way too much. You know, owning every single Sims 4 pack out there is actually really, really hard. So to express your sympathies towards me, you should definitely like this video. You know what, to separate this space out a little bit more, because it just feels a little bit too much right now, I'm thinking we actually use an archway into this space. I don't know what we're thinking. I just feel like it adds a little bit of separation. So this room feels smaller and more snug. So does this room. You know what, I will be honest, removing the pack filters, it has made it a lot more satisfying now. I feel like I can find everything I need plus more. Something that I have just found, guys, is these lights, which apparently came with the Sims 4 businesses with only 2 hobbies expansion pack. They're a little bit finicky to place, but look at that on the outside. I genuinely didn't know these were a thing. So I'm placing these now on every single balcony in this build. Will I place them in any future build? I do, maybe. Depends if I remember they exist, and the chance of that being very low. They're also very difficult to place for some reason. So let me just make the most of them now before I ever forget to use them ever again. They look, oh, you can't even see them. Because the fucking Eve thing is in the way. Oh no. But you know what? Okay, when you're playing the game and you're viewing it from this angle, you can see them. So it's fine. So I'm feeling happy with this as like an open, airy bedroom. And obviously you guys don't want to see me do like the bathrooms is kind of boring. So this is the bathroom done. I also remembered to add curtains for once, although not fully. I forgot them here. There we go. Now I have. I'm also a very big fan of copying objects from one bathroom all the way over to this bathroom, like I did here, apart from the curtains, well, blinds, because I always forget to do that. It just makes it a lot easier, I think. And then we've got these 2 rooms here. I'm gonna do this smaller room first. So assuming this is a family-owned hotel, I may as well add a kid's bed in here. Should we do a girly one? Should we even use my first pet stuff and be really cursed about all of this? I think that will be a fantastic idea. She can have a giant, I don't know, biscuit rug. That's cute. So I'm thinking this is for like a child as opposed to a toddler or an infant. And the great thing about that is when you have a child sim in a household, it makes cluttering your builds a lot easier, because you can put like kids' toys and stuff and just like scatter it all around the house. So it's 2 in 1, because it adds some more functional objects to your game for kids, but it's also a way of decorating every single room in the house with just like, I don't know, a random toy on the table, which is what would happen if you had kids in the house. You would find toys on the table and things, wouldn't you? And look at that. Look at this wall thing. This is really cute. Look, we've got hearts, we've got pictures and stuff. We've got the rainbow. That's quite cool, isn't it? What do kids even have in their rooms? I feel like this girl doesn't need anything. Do you know what I mean? Should we just keep it very open, the space? Like a neat kids room. I genuinely don't know what I could put in there. What did the kids room stuff pack come with? A little like chair? Oh, that's really cool. I like this. Can we change like who's on the pictures? We can. Well, there's only 2 swatches. That's going to be an issue. Oh well, nobody will notice. It's not like you guys play this game anyway. You're just building it. Okay, well, the room has been cluttered to death. Well, not to death. That's a bit dramatic. We've just added a little bit of stuff, and we have the closet, so she doesn't technically need a wardrobe. She's got toy spaces. That'll do for it. And that's really cute, actually. I feel like it's really cozy. So next up, we've got this room here. So we've got room for 1 child and 2 parents. We obviously need another room here as well. So I like the idea of making this a teen bedroom. So I'm going to be using the high school years pack because that came with basically everything you need to do a teen bedroom, allegedly. Can't fit a closet in this one. That's a shame. Unless we cover the window, although that's the only window in the room. So we just have to, no, it's fine. We move the bed around. I'm actually going to cut this room off completely and make it significantly smaller. I love a hidden space in The Sims 4. I think it's completely fine. And it also gives us a lot more room, actually. The least it just feels, I don't know, spaced out a little bit better. I definitely can't recommend enough in The Sims 4. I don't feel like you need to use every single wall, if you know what I mean. Like, you can just cut off a random corner like this. And I think it's completely fine because now that we've done this, I can turn it into a space with a desk, which I think looks quite cute. And you can have like these little cute light things. My ex-boyfriend had these. Kind of want some. I wonder if I could claim them on my tax return. I probably could actually, couldn't I? I have these cute bed lights. I wish I had these in real life, honestly. I think if I got my own bedroom, I'm saying that like I'm a fucking adult. Like when I move out finally, I mean, I think they look really fantastic. Whenever I do a teen room, I like to make it feel kind of like a bit of a mess. So I feel like we've achieved that, but at the same time, making it not too messy. We will obviously finish it off with like clutter on the floor, like clothes and stuff, because that's obviously a really incredible detail I think they added into the game. But other than that, I think we're pretty sound with this room. Oh, looks like we've done every single room of the house. As we are going to eventually turn this into a small business, we do need to add functionality for that. But first, we do actually need to add this. So this is basically a self check-in system to the hotel. This is how it functions. So I will show you what happens when we let's daffodil. So I didn't bother to make a family because I'm just showing you how you'd make it kind of like a love hotel. So we're just using this random sim daffodil. We go straight, once the game is loaded, we go straight into build mode. Then we got to make sure all of the walls. So I would honestly make every single area residential only. And then down here, you've got to go through every single one, unfortunately. And then make all of the public ones public, or you can do it the other way. It's entirely up to you. That way, by making all of these public, it means that Sims can obviously use the room, but they hopefully won't go out upstairs, although it has glitched for me before where Sims do go into spaces they shouldn't be allowed to go into. And then yeah, all of this up here is residential space. So I will save this as Torres Amancer Hotel. One thing I did forget to do is actually decorate up here. Oops. So let me promptly remove that from the gallery. Oopsie daisy. This bit, by the way, is entirely for decoration. I kind of just don't like the idea of the Sims going upstairs. I just don't think they need to. I don't really know what that would actually add to the game. So technically you should not be looking up here, technically, because I've literally added nothing. So I'm just adding some things. So like, just in case you accidentally pan the camera up here, just in case you accidentally do, there's at least something for you to look at. Okay, I think that's fine. That covers the space well. Okay, now we can re-add it to the gallery. So with a small business, we can make this our love hotel. So in terms of activities that you want to do, being romantic, obviously. We've also got kiss. If you want to add woohoo, you do need wicked whims to this, and then that will make it so you can add woohoo. Although the last time I did it, EA tried to ban me. I don't know why. Anyway, stay near household sims, so your sims together stay together. We're also going to be having sleep and wear costumes from the costume trunk to make it more fancy. So I'm thinking we do an hourly fee and target customers. We are going to do age and make it adult, older, young adult and up, so nobody else. Teens, I mean, teens can woohoo, although maybe that's a bit weird, maybe not teens. So that's it, and then we can open the business. This is more so, I just want to say, not from your perspective as a business owner, but I think as a player, we always look at the Sims 4 like businesses and no hobbies pack as like a make your own business pack, but actually something that you can do with this pack is visit as a customer. You don't just have to own it as a business owner, like just visit as a customer, it's fine. So it is a little bit cursed as a business owner, but when you visit, oh my god, look, there's a literal skeleton in here. When you visit as a customer, you can just like hire out a room for yourself. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I think it's better as a customer. In addition to making this, I actually made a functional college lot, which is really fun to make. And I actually made it also using businesses and hobbies with different classes and things. So make sure you check out that video if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching this one. I will see you in the next one.